Good morning, and welcome back to another SaTarotDay with Salon. One half of the two pondering pagans. Let's get started. So today I am using a different tarot deck. This is one I have used a few times privately, but not yet on any stream or show or anything, and it will probably be one that we will review tonight on the Malice Experience, if we do one tonight. And we have some guests, actually, a very exciting guest tonight, so I'm super excited about that. But if you want to check it out, you'll have to go look and see the channel, Mr. Malice. And see who we've got playing tonight. We're going to have some fun. I'm excited. So this deck is the Tarot of the Abyss. Now, that sounds pretty cynical or pretty, I don't know, like the Abyss. It's actually a really, really beautiful deck, and the imagery is done amazing. Like, it's certainly a better deck to use for shadow style work and for reorganizing thoughts and trying to pick out the things that really need to be worked on. So from that perspective, yeah, there is some abyss to it, you know, but the deck is very well lent to supporting figuring out what it is we need to work on. So this is going to be a little bit of a message today. I generally will use this deck if I'm working with somebody who is feeling stuck about something. If they ask for a reading about, how do I move forward, or I need some help in deciding what to do next, or how to go to the next level of my life. Or I'm stuck in a situation, or feel stuck in a situation, I want out of it and I don't know how to get out of it or what to do next. That's this deck. So if you've been following us each week, then, we got a jumper already. I'm going to set that one aside for a minute. But if you've been following us, then you probably know the last couple of readings have been about community and tribe and taking steps. Last week's reading was a little bit more specific. And then this week, we're going to see some of the things that are happening. And I can already tell you, this deck is speaking to me in a little bit more aggressive manner than some of the others. That first card that came out is going to be our start, and it's going to give us a message for sure. But yeah. And I apologize. I got to work on how to get the sound not to hear the shuffling so hardcore, because it's right at where my microphone is. But anyway, one of the things that life has been given to most of us is the feeling of oppression, or not being heard, or stagnation because of COVID, among many, many other things. Because when COVID happened, it became the focus, and the rest of life didn't stop, but we stopped talking about it as much. We didn't consider it as much. And we had to learn how to be with ourselves even more than we were before. And no matter how much of a loner you are, or an introvert you may be, forced loneliness and forced seclusion and forced separation is only an excuse to not deal sometimes with some of the personal things that you have to deal with. So wherever you are and whatever you're doing and however life is treating you, know that it's valid, that you're valid, and that it doesn't matter what anybody else says. You are where you are, you feel how you feel, you're doing what you're doing, and you're the one that needs to figure out how to get out of that, right? Not somebody else. So don't listen to other people when they tell you how to feel or how you should feel, or oh, you're depressed, just be happy because, that's easy, right? So, and we have some fighting dogs. I apologize. They're getting mad with each other. We did have another jumper here, so we've got 2 of our 3. I don't always play the jump cards. Sometimes I just put them back into shuffle, especially if I get a whole chunk of cards that try to jump. But I'm getting very single jumpers here, so we're gonna play the jumps today, and I'm gonna see if we get another jumper here. We'll have our 3 to start. Also, I didn't pick a deck to do a clarification from, so we might need to do that. All right, so our 3rd card so far hasn't jumped at us, so let's pull a 3rd. We're going to split and pull. Okay. All right, so here's what we've got. We've got 8 of Swords, 6 of Wands, 2 of Cups. So no major arcanas this week. This is probably the first time that we've had no major arcana cards. Also, we have 3 completely different suits. I'd be interested to see if our 3rd card fits the 4th element that's not here. So we have our swords, which is our air. We have our wands, which is our fire. And we have our cups, which is our water. So right now we don't have any earth cards. So this is telling me right off the get-go that everything that we're doing right now is not about what's here in the physical plane. So while we are constantly talking about community, this read is about mixing magic and bringing forth things and doing actions and thinking things through and doing it with people and bringing in emotional growth and things together. That's the first thing. The second thing this type of a read tells me is we have all even cards, so things are balanced. Things are going to be progressive in a way that feels right and together. The other thing I want to notice is that out of the 3 cards, I've got a light imagery, a dark imagery, and then another light imagery, meaning just the colors. Like these are monochromatic, I think is how you would call them. So there's no color in them. They're just the black and white or the black and like kind of a cream color. So when you look at this imagery, it's kind of like where we are now, we feel flanked by something that might have felt comfortable for a minute, and then it's like tight, and then we're going to feel comfortable again. So right now we're stuck a little bit in how we feel. So yeah, that's kind of where we are with just a general overview. And the reason I share kind of that part of the process is because when I read tarot, especially sometimes with Oracle, but mostly with tarot, I'm looking for patterns. I'm looking for repetitions. I'm looking for differences. I'm looking for what does the story look like overall, because any one card can be adjusted by the rest of the cards that are in the read. So we're going to start with the 8 of Swords. So our 8 of Swords is really giving us a new message. And this really is kind of a feeling of pause, or normally an 8's going to tell you about things that you've achieved or that you're moving forward, but this 8 is like, oh my God, I'm so stuck. I want to go do something and everything is working against me, and I give up. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it because everything is against me. And what you need to know about the 8 of Swords is the 8 of Swords doesn't say give up. 8 of Swords says, look, if everything's against you right now, wait a second. Our second card is going to tell us about action. So when we get there, it'll make more sense. But just the 8 of Swords by itself is saying pause. It's saying, yes, things are working against you, but that doesn't mean they're always going to. That doesn't mean that's permanent. It just means right now you have to stop and just like, okay, what do I need to do? Let's breathe. Let's take a minute. Let's air it. Let's say, okay, I need to do X, Y, and Z. I need to do X, Y, and Z, but right now everything's against me. So let me just stop, hold on. All right, you know what? I have barrier all around me. I need to just stay a minute and focus on myself and let me work through what I need to work through. And let me pause. And then either I'm going to make an action that's going to change, or the universe is going to help change something with me. not for me, but with me, and we'll be able to move again. But right now, swimming upstream is just not the right thing to do. It's just not going to work. So, stop it. The second thing is Six of Wands, right? So let's talk about the Six of Wands. So when we talk about sixes, if you're just looking at the cards, they're really about like kind of, I don't know, connections and working together and how things connect to make action through our actions. So in this image, you're seeing somebody doing like a performance. And, wands really do talk about our passions and things that are creative and transformable. Watching a performance of somebody that has poured their heart and soul into something can change you. It can change your perspective. It can lighten your mood. It can remind you of somebody. But the point is somebody's telling you a story through their own created emotion and energy and power. And that's what the Six of Wands is really talking about. It's talking about that push, but that you might be having a barrier to it. Like you might not be able to right now receive, the story message that somebody's sending you. So let's talk about this in terms of Eight of Swords, right? Eight of Swords, we just talked about, pausing and letting things kind of go away or go around a little bit so that it makes sense, so that you can refocus and move forward. And right now, to me, I'm getting that you are blocking the receipt of something that could be life-changing. Swords are challenged, wands can be challenged because it's about making your action and your creativity and putting yourself out there. But sixes are talking about those connections that you make. Those message receive and send and receive, right? So let's look at what messages are around us, because this, figuring out what the message is, who's sending the message, is going to be what allows you to move forward. So far, we're seeing that we have no ability to move forward because we are bound and everything is working against us. So we need to look for who's got the message and what the message is around us so that we can loosen up and kind of go forward. This could be simply getting into a conversation with somebody and listening to what they have to say when you wouldn't normally. This could be talking to somebody you don't normally talk to. It could be watching a play. It could be going out to dinner with somebody, and then a movie afterwards. It could be going out alone. It doesn't have to be another person. It could be you that the message is coming from. Although I will say generally with the Six of Wands and the way I'm seeing it right now, it's really the receipt of a message from an outside entity or an outside group. So you're really looking to see what somebody has to give you. So the other third card we have is the Two of Cups. Now, often we talk about twos, and this is a really, really neat two. Like I've not seen imagery exactly like this before, but this is really about, I call it polarities, but dualities and connections with people. A lot of people take this as a relationship card, and it can be a romantic relationship card when coupled with other cards, usually. By itself, and with a Six of Wands and an Eight of Swords, this Two of Cups is not about a romantic relationship. This has nothing to do with romance at all. This has to do with your connections with yourself and realizing what is the other side of you that you're missing out on right now. This whole reading is really coming down to yourself. You are potentially, not, and of course, there's probably, God knows how many people will listen to this tarot reading. So this is a message specifically for probably just a few of you, actually. But from an energetic standpoint, we can all work on things, right? So look at what's holding you back. Look at, everything that's working against you from the Eight of Swords, and let it pause until you can figure out from the Six of Wands who is trying to communicate with you and what message are they trying to give to you. Is it one of hope? Is it one of introspection? Is it a message of just allowance? And then with the Two of Cups, connect back with the opposite side of yourself that you are leaving on the table purposefully. You're doing it, and right now you're thinking, oh my God, I am. There's another half of me that's stuck and I'm completely ignoring it. I wanted to go out last weekend and then I didn't because I felt depressed, or I wanted to go to this play with a friend of mine, but then I just backed out last minute because I was tired, or all these things that you are trying and wanting to do to communicate, right, from the Six of Wands and get messages and talk, and you are leaving the other half on the table, the other half of you. So get your other half together and communicate with your other half. I'm not talking about your other half like my other half being Rook. No, I'm talking about your other half of you that you are not connecting with. If you're having difficulty connecting to the feminine, if you're a male, that happens sometimes, connect with that side. If you are a woman and you are having trouble connecting to your masculine side, you need to connect to it. It's polarities. It doesn't have to be male, female either. I'm just trying to use those as simple examples that people will understand a little bit better. This could be if you're always a happy person, you feel a little bit sad inside and you're not sharing that with somebody, it's time to blow the fuck up. Just say, oh my God, I'm tired of being freaking happy all the time. Everybody thinks that everything is great for me. I hide it. Let it out. If you're somebody who's constantly talking about the dark things and the sad things in your life, look at the opposite and move it into reality. So the message today to me is extremely clear and does not need a clarifying card. So maybe that's why I didn't have a clarifying deck today. The universe does it for you. This is a very clear self look, which is expected out of the Tarot of the Abyss. Some people may call this a shadow read. It's just a tarot read. Listen to the Eight of Swords telling you everything is working against you right now. You're not imagining it. Everything is working against you right now, including yourself, everything around you, the energies, and that's okay. It happens. It's stagnation. It's just let it be against you right now, because making action is not going to help. But in order to get out of it, you're going to listen to the Six of Wands, which tells you to connect and receive a message. So that means from yourself, from your higher power, from your universe, from another person, but whatever it is, you need to allow that connection to occur and bring it into reality again, and let that action happen. Let that communication occur. Let them send you that message. I don't care if this means watching not sad, I don't like that necessarily, but funny cat videos all day, or what I call sad videos, but videos where people are just like helping people and those kind of things that make me cry. It's cathartic. That is a message that you need to receive so that you can release some things. And finally, look at the half of you that you're leaving on the table right now, because that is how you're going to get that energy moving again. We are constantly making choices on how to act and what we do and what choices we make every day. Everything is a choice, even when those choices are limited, because we can choose how we react. We can choose how we move forward. And the Two of Cups is seriously giving you that final push of saying, you need to look at your other half and get it out and play around with it and make it work and listen to what it has to say. So that is the reading for today. I hope you enjoyed. This one's been very, very highly energetic for me. I am loving this deck. I might use it for a couple of times. I think it has some really good messages to give. Today is beginning of May in 2022. We're moving into the summer. We're starting to get into the different swirling active wand energy anyway. So fire, 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 right? Let's create, let's transform, let's pull all of our stuff together, but let's do it smartly. Swords tells you to do things intelligently. Wand says be creative and passionate about them. And Cup says let them let you feel. Let you feel. The lack of earth in this reading is really just a repeat mention that, this isn't about the life we're living in mundane world right now. This isn't about our money. This isn't about our finances. This isn't about our home. This is about us and our energy and the whole thing that makes us us. So again, I hope you enjoyed. I apologize that I did go a little bit kind of all over the place, which happens sometimes. But those are always the more fun readings for me anyway. If you want to see more, subscribe. I would love to see people back. The most important thing to me, as you know, is comments. I love hearing your thoughts about the tarot that I do and oracles, and if you like them, don't like them, if you agree, don't agree, if you would have read differently. I want to hear that. I think that is the best way to learn, and that is how the universe kind of gives us the little tweaks and pushes to the things that we do. So please leave comments. Like if you like this video, please feel free to share it anywhere you want, and subscribe so that you can come back and see more. And have a wonderful day. Have a great weekend.